entrepreneur. You began this place. Why did you start this?
Well, our primary objective in opening the coffee and tea house was to further fair trade, buying from sub-Saharan African coffee growers, and to create a niche in the community where people could meet and network, and people who would have otherwise never met could meet up with other like-minded individuals. So, Dr. Hall, can you tell me what compression refers to?
The word was coined to indicate that the world is a finite place, it's fixed. So is almost everything in it. A good many years ago, the real skeptics began to question, if you keep doubling the use of these things every 10 years, 20 years, or even 50 years, that can't go on forever because you run out of stuff. It's harder to get. It takes more energy to get it. And so those forces are closing in on us. And we have to learn how to live better and using less, a lot less.
Then what exactly is compression thinking?
That's changing how we think, how we live, how we run a business, being aware of all these limitations, including limits on our biodiversity and many, many things. But being aware of it, can you learn to live well or to even improve quality of life while using a lot less stuff to do it? In your case, you're trying to improve quality of life of people in Africa and people here. Two areas. That's a great thing to do. And there are two expressions for it. One is quality over quantity always. It's not how much you sell or how big the business gets. It's whether you are really accomplishing that objective you set out to do. Another phrase is, how effective are you? Effectiveness over your efficiency. That is, you don't want to use efficiency just to grow. Efficiency is very important if it lets you live better and use less. Sometimes extremely important, but it's not the one and only thing. It's, are you doing the right thing?
So how do I go about directly applying this to my business? And what is the biggest problem adopting compression thinking?
Well, I put them in three categories. One is changing our values from status being how much we have or how much you can spend or all the things that mean expansion. That's pretty natural to us. It's a value system. Can we change that value system to one that emphasizes quality and effectiveness of outcome, not how much? A second one is the system itself. Even compound interest is an expansion formula. It's the same form of a formula that's used for growth of bacteria in a petri dish until it hits the edge of the dish. And so we all have to live with that system, and nearly all of us are conflicted if you're trying to get into compression thinking, because we have to actually live a good deal with the old system. The third one is just our habits. We like to keep doing what we always did, don't like to change. I'm no different from anybody else. And so changing habits is hard for any of us. But accomplishing all three of those is a big problem. But I'd say it begins with the values, and you'll figure out ways to do this in your business. How would you decrease the energy use here? Even what can be done to encourage your customers to decrease their use of energy and material. What can be done to stimulate those farmers you eventually get it from in Africa to grow pretty good coffee and use less resources and energy to do it. Maybe shortening the supply line to some of the stuff that you would provide your customers here. All those move in the direction of living as well, or hopefully a lot better, and using a lot less stuff to do it. And by a lot less, I mean we in the United States are consuming at a rate far faster than most people in the world. How can we live well using less because our value system has to change to do that.
Well, at the micro level here in our coffee house, one of the steps we've implemented is instead of using primarily the paper to-go cups, we implemented a system where folks that are having their coffee in-house will use pottery cups made locally. So we reduced the supply chain and we reduced our consumption, the things that we dispose of, and we've helped the folks that make the pottery. And the supply chain is really short because they're like 2 buildings down from us. And so it's just been great, and they're beautiful.
You had a start on compression thinking before we ever began to talk about it, and I'll commend you for that. There's probably a lot more you could do. There's a lot more I can do, because that changing of habits business, even when you know what to do, is not easy, because we have to live in the world we got. But what can we do going forward that really pushes the thing, you and I, both of us, that's going to make a change right here, because a change in the world is made one little place at a time.